Number 21. Efficient earth-sheltered homes. 1. A young couple decided to build a very low-impact homemade house to be able to survive on an annual income of just $10,000. 2. The plastic sheet they used on their earth-sheltered house should have a lifespan of at least 50 years. 3. Extensive green roofs provide much of the environmental performance benefits of deeper intensive green roofs but cannot support general foot traffic. 4. Over time, the company specialized in energy conservation, earth-sheltered homes, and athletic clubs. 5. Earth-sheltered homes have energy-efficient features providing a comfortable, tranquil, weather-resistant dwelling. 6. The two basic types of earth-sheltered house designs are underground and bermed. 7. Windows, glass doors, and exposed walls provide light, solar heat, outside views, and access via stairway from the ground level. 8. The floor plan is arranged accordingly to ensure that common areas and bedrooms share light and heat from the southern exposure. 9. In underground homes carved into the landscape, earth covers the entire house except where there are windows and doors. 10. It is necessary for earth-sheltered homes that have foot traffic on the roof to implement soundproofing.
Number 22. Bristol Supermarket Development. 1. The developers have confirmed that supermarkets will be opening near petrol stations. 2. While Bristol supermarkets are popping up everywhere, other shops in southern Scotland are closing down. 3. The company's marketing arm says this shop is different from other stores because they will be focusing solely on fresh food. 4. With the ongoing constructions and renovations, more than 200 employees have been displaced, being assigned to other stores or retrained. 5. The Bristol Supermarket Development states that retail stores should be flexible with acquiring profits. 6. The CEO of the development company stated in an interview that the strategy to being successful is to keep an open mind. 7. The development company has branch offices all over Europe, but its head office is close to London. 8. The company admits that seeking help from their partners benefits them greatly. 9. Coordinating is not an easy task, so the company has a manager who handles nothing but discussions. 10. The manager said that reorganizing or reducing the number of people in the organization helps the department save on overhead costs.
Number 23. Supermarket content comparison. 1. The research to compare contents in supermarkets involved interviewing shoppers. 2. The research results are published online so anyone can search for details. 3. The team involved in the supermarket content comparison research included customer service representatives. 4. Sunshine Supermarket has a wide range of organic food, and this gives them an advantage in that market. 5. Although Sunshine Supermarket has an edge in the organic food market, they use too much packaging, and this sometimes turns customers off. 6. Twin Cities Supermarket attracts customers by offering bags for free. 7. One disadvantage that Twin Cities Supermarket has is their lack of cleaning products. 8. Fresh Pride Supermarket has an edge in the local market because they offer local products. 9. Fresh Pride Supermarket has to improve their staff training policy to provide better customer service. 10. Gooding Supermarket has limited products, but they are able to pay for good advertising.
Number 24. Temucamak in the northeast Amazon. 1. Temucamak, located in the northeast of the Amazon, covers an area of 39,000 hectares. 2. The Temucamak rainforest is considered the world's biggest national park. 3. The site is preserved with cooperation from the government and help from scientists and local Indian tribes. 4. Mapping the area required the application of GPRS data and aerial photographs in addition to local knowledge. 5. There are some places in the area where plants used for medicine grow. 6. The result of the mapping will be the first and most important step in protecting the local and world forest lands. Seven. Another result of the mapping can be a division of regions. 8. The map can be used to educate children about their local history. 9. The main problem with making the map is the language barrier. 10. The most significant result of this project is that it included contribution from the local people.
Number 25. Saffron, dyes and spices used for medicinal baths. 1. 50 grams of saffron can make 14,000 litres of medicinal bathwater. 2. The method used to preserve the spices used for the medicinal bath is drying. 3. The problem is that people rarely sold the saffron, dyes, and spices in powder form. 4. There are many modern medical applications that widely use spices, such as in common rice dishes and other cuisines. 5. One of the medical applications where spices are used is in the treatment of eye injuries. 6. In a rat experiment, it was shown that saffron can protect the eyes from light damage and retinal stress. 7. In ancient Greek, people dyed their clothes with spices. 8. In ancient Rome, saffron and spice were used for cosmetics. 9. Women in ancient Rome used saffron and spices as perfume for their baths. 10. In ancient Rome and what used to be Persia, which is now Iran, they used saffron and spices to dye carpets.
Number 26. IT in colleges. 1. The first reason why IT was adapted in colleges is because using email was unsuccessful. 2. Information technology has a great connection and relationship with the local economy. 3. Information technology is mainly applied in the teaching of methods that involve computers. 4. With information technology, students, teachers, and professors enjoy communicating with each other. 5. Knowledge of information technology helps build up the student's confidence. 6. The use of information technology helps provide students with more flexible approaches. 7. There are many benefits to using information technology, and that includes having new materials. 8. One of the many benefits to information technology is that it provides new solutions to problems. 9. Another benefit of having information technology in colleges is that it helps students develop their time management skills. 10. The existence of information technology in colleges subsidizes the students' increasing income.
Number 27. Difference between settled nations and nomadic nations. 1. The differences between settled and nomadic nations are presented in a vertical graph. 2. The nomadic settlers made a cabin for their families' accommodations. 3. Not having too many possessions, nomads used a camel as their main transport. 4. It is the young people who lead in both settled and nomadic nations. 5. In both settled and nomadic nations, local residents are helped by farmers. 6. Farmers barter green grain with their nomad settlers in exchange for their help. 7. The nomads exchange food and goods with the locals for clothing. 8. The nomads help the local farmers harvest food and prepare the meat of the animals that were slaughtered. 9. Unlike permanent settlers, nomads usually live in temporary shelters like tents. 10. The difference between settled and nomadic nations is a mix between two lifestyles that requires an intermediate level of understanding.
Number 28. Gastropods. 1. Gastropods, such as snails, have a mineral composition that is similar to the sea. 2. Gastropods, such as snails, have a pattern on their shell that generally goes to the right. 3. There are some gastropods that, unlike snails, have hair on their shell. 4. The diet of gastropods, such as snails, is mainly made up of worms. 5. Gastropods, like snails, were first introduced as food in the 1st century. Six. Gastropods, such as snails, have a unique and special defense system. 7. The environment that is most dangerous for gastropods is an area with dry climate. 8. Gastropods, such as snails, live in old forests and swamps. 9. There are some particular species of gastropods that live underground. 10. Gastropods, such as snails, are good indicators of the standard of the environment.
Number 29. History of salt. 1. Salt is essential for our health because it helps digestion, adrenal function, cellular metabolism, and brain development. 2. The English word salary comes from the Latin word for salt because the Roman legions were sometimes paid in salt. 3. Salt is a necessity-preserving agent, especially in places where fresh meat is only available in October. 4. During the summer, the animals are fed in the local surrounding forests. 5. We can tell from records of the diet of the King of Sweden that salt was already widely used in 1573. 6. During those times, beer consumption was epic, largely because the food was so salty. 7. Sweden must protect their shipping trade for the sake of the people who rely on imported commodities. Eight. In dry and arid places, salt is collected from basins in desert locations. Nine. According to historical records, the salt created from spring water is purer and more concentrated. 10. The salt trade naturally became a means and opportunity for transport.
Number 30. Research on employee absence. 1. According to the research, absence is sometimes caused by factors related to gender. 2. According to the research, absence can also be a result of an employee's attitude. 3. According to the research, the culture in certain companies leads to high absence rates. 4. According to the research, absenteeism can also be caused by external factors. Five. This phenomenon of work absenteeism is detrimental to the whole industry. 6. A larger workforce is required to make up for missed work because of absences. 7. Absenteeism has also been found to reduce a group's work efficiency. 8. Absenteeism has also been confirmed to result in big financial losses. 9. It's been confirmed in the research that controlling the absence rate brings more benefits to both individuals and organizations. (10) The only option for companies who employ people who have high absence rates is to dismiss them.
Number 31. Lecture on endangered animals. 1. One of the recent problems in Australia is the loss of habitat for several species of frogs due to human activity. 2. Another problem that Australia is currently facing has to do with birds and spiders. 3. Another problem in Australia is that they grow single crop plants such as corn, which is not beneficial for animals. 4. Humans generally ignore efforts to protect animals because their opinions are influenced by the media. 5. Humans generally ignore effects to protect animals, and they are even less concerned about smaller animals such as insects. 6. The only way that humans can be encouraged to protect animals is through shock or fear. 7. Humans feel that protecting animals is disadvantageous because they are rivals for food. 8. One of the main reasons why extinction has to be prevented is the fact that the ecosystem needs to be complex to remain stable. Nine. There are many reasons why we must prevent extinction, and one of them has to do with disorders in the blood system. Ten. Some species have been successfully nursed back to health by biologists and other scientists.
Number 32. Supermarket product layout. 1. The layout of the products at the supermarket should consider the traffic flow between the aisles. 2. The people responsible for the product layout at supermarkets should take the rush hour in consideration. 3. Product layout at supermarkets will not be successful if the organization of items is random. 4. Supermarkets should find out the most cost-effective way to arrange the layout of the products they carry. Five. Customers need more time to select the products that they want and need to buy. 6. Supermarket attendants should lay out the small items that they sell in smaller areas. 7. Supermarkets in general become a quieter place right before and after the rush hours. 8. Slow-moving products should be placed at the end of the aisles. 9. Expensive products should be placed in the middle of the shelves. 10. Profitable products like chocolates and flowers should be placed near the entrance.
Number 33. History of the cocoa powder. 1. Girolamo Benzoni noted in his book, History of the New World, that the fruit was called cacahuate, was used as money in the 16th century. 2. In the 17th century, people started processing cacahuate as liquid chocolate. 3. In the 18th century, the Americans started adding sugar to chocolate. 4. In the 19th century, researchers discovered that chocolate had an impact on a person's mood. 5. Based on statistics, the top chocolate export country is Italy. 6. People discovered how to turn the liquid into solid, giving birth to the chocolate bar. 7. Chocolates are made in factories in different parts of the world and are sold in shops everywhere. 8. Manufacturers prefer to have the labor done in Africa because the cost is low. 9. The production and manufacturing of chocolate is important to the local economy of Africa. 10. The chocolate factory chose a site that was near the coast and they intend to stay there for good.
Number 34. Fossil protection. 1. In fossil protection, the first kind of procedure done is rapid burial in water bodies. 2. The second kind of fossil protection traces the fossil size and form. 3. For fossils to be protected, they need to be rapidly buried in water bodies. 4. When buried in the water, fossils become filled inside with soil minerals. 5. It is common to find some fossils in shops and museum exhibitions. 6. Fossils can be bought or purchased, but the bigger ones are quite expensive. 7. The function of the recorder is to indicate the type of rock the fossil is wrapped in. 8. The function of the notebook and pen is, of course, to fill in the form for record purposes. 9. The function of the camera is obviously for taking photos. 10. The function of the compass is to locate soft sediment.
Number 35. Impact of Bodiam Castle on the Roman Empire. 1. The Bodiam Castle was built by Sir Edward Dahlingrig in the 1st century BC, 450,000 years ago. 2. There was evidence that oyster shells were used as currency, and they also recovered a single scallop valve that dated around the 19th century. 3. They discovered possessions of the King of France, which included coins, glassware, pottery, bronze figurines, bricks, and tiles. 4. It was found that the people who lived there produced salt around a stream. 5. One of the economic activities at the time was brick development for the construction of buildings. 6. Many Roman coins that were used for trading have been discovered during the excavation of the site. 7. The archaeologists and excavators also found great gutter materials at the site. 8. However, the architect was concerned about the window glass, which is the evidence for the existence of Roman villas. 9. According to the archaeologists, the stone building represented the ancient cultural and economic significance of the area. 10. The other things that were recovered in the area were fragments of a bronze helmet and coins.
Number 36. Moons of Jupiter. 1. Jupiter's volume is 1,000 times more than that of Earth's volume. Two, there are 3 Milky Way galaxy stars that are brighter than Jupiter. Three, people can see Jupiter with the use of a telescope and even the naked eye if one knows when and where to look. Four, Jupiter's moons were named after Galileo Galilei's discovery in 1610. Five, the most distinctive characteristic of Jupiter's Io moon is that it has over 400 active volcanoes. Six, the reason why Jupiter's Europa moon cannot support life is because it is covered in ice. Seven, another reason why there are no living things on Jupiter's Europa moon is because its surface is covered with water ice crust. Eight, a characteristic feature of Jupiter's Ganymede moon is its bulging middle that is about 3 kilometers high and 600 kilometers wide. Nine, another characteristic of Jupiter's Ganymede moon is that its iron core produces a magnetic field that becomes embedded in Jupiter's own magnetic field. 10. Jupiter's Callisto moon is heavily cratered, but a few of the small craters indicate a small degree of current surface activity.
Number 37. Vertical farming. 1. It is assumed that ideas about vertically stacked homes with irrigation for vertical farms existed since the 1900s. 2. The concept of vertical farming came about due to the need to reduce energy costs from oil for transporting foods to consumers. 3. The advantage of vertical farms is that it will help increase food availability. 4. However, having the proper temperature in a vertical farm is also necessary. 5. The disadvantage to vertical farms is that it could lead to the loss of wildlife habitat. 6. Another possible disadvantage is soil degradation due to loss of nutrients. 7. Vertical farms have conditions optimal for crop growth all the time compared to farming at the mercy of weather, soil, pests, and diseases. 8. If vertical farms are created, no crops would ever fail due to severe weather events such as erosion caused by floods. 9. Sunshine at any spot is always intermittent, so solar energy is deemed by many as an unreliable source of energy. (10) To maintain the good health of plants grown indoors, humidity and air circulation must be very precisely controlled.
Number 38. bridge collapse incidents in 3 countries in the 19th century. 1. The collapse of the bridges was viewed as a disaster caused by technical and personal issues related to design and maintenance. 2. All 3 major accidents recorded in history involved the collapse of bridges. 3. The bridge in Scotland was destroyed in 1879 because of the effect of the wind. 4. The bridge in Canada collapsed in 1907 because of its great weight. Five. All 3 bridges collapsed due to the use of a kind of sugar sweetener to hold parts in place. Six. The sugar sweeteners were kept in a tank at an undisclosed factory. Seven. The immediate cost of the bridge collapse is still difficult to calculate. 8. The reason cited for the accident was insufficient safety tests. 9. The engineers knew that increased pressure would cause the bridges to collapse. 10. Constructing and operating the bridges requires a license and official certifications.
Number 39. The effects of working the night shift on the body. 1. There has been a huge increase in the number of night shift workers, currently reaching 10,000. 2. Shift work creates a misalignment on our internal clock, which causes difficulty in falling asleep. 3. The human internal clock enables people to tell the difference between dark and light. 4. Weekend and night shift workers have a legal right to be paid for working shifts which can be viewed as unsocial hours. 5. The lack of sleep endured by night shift workers is not good for the stomach and heart. 6. All of these reasons could lead to depression in night shift workers. 7. Lack of sleep at night affects the mental ability and therefore the performance of shift workers. 8. Another example of a disadvantage to night shift workers involves social matters, such as the inability to have a normal social life. 9. Irregular working hours affect relationships and can lead to problems that may ruin family life. (10) Relationships among friends or peer groups can also be negatively affected by irregular working hours.
Number 40. Benefits of physical education. 1. Physical education used to play a central part in traditional education. 2. Nowadays, children prefer documented activities for pastime, such as watching TV or playing computer games. 3. The government has started introducing education policies and encouraging schools to engage children in more physical activities. 4. The government has decided to focus on children's physical activities in order to help them develop their mental learning skills. 5. Other countries that conducted a similar research include France, India, and Canada. 6. However, opponents say there is a negative effect to paying too much attention on physical education. Seven. On the other hand, proponents argue that physical exercise not only improves children's behavior, but also their health. 8. Research has shown that PE can improve children's behavior and concentration, as well as their intelligence. 9. Physical education helps improve intelligence because it increases blood flow to the brain. 10. To conclude, it may be that PE is the key to making children smarter and better overall performers.